everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about Frugal Frocks 2021. It is March, it's time to go, I'm excited, let's do this. So if you haven't heard of Frugal Frocks 2021, where have you been? It's been all over the internet right now. This is a new Instagram challenge taking place, and it is run by Rowan from the Yorkshire Sew Girl and Sam from Frugalisama. The idea behind the challenge is to delve into our stashes and to pinch those pennies this month and to make something that we haven't spent any money on. Everyone is, tightening those purse strings at the moment. 2021 hasn't had the best start. So I think the girls wanted to come up with a challenge to lift everyone's spirits and to encourage us to be frugal. Basically, the idea behind it is that you have to find a free sewing pattern. Now this can either be a PDF pattern or one that comes free with your sewing magazines, or any resource where you can find a sewing pattern that you haven't paid for or paid the bare minimum for. Now my fabric stash is ginormous. I don't know about you guys, but I have plenty of things in there to work with. And I've been watching everyone's videos, keeping track of what's going on, and it is March the 3rd today, and I haven't started yet, but I'm excited. So I'm here to tell you what my plans are, what I'm going to be getting up to, and how I can share my frugal tips with you. I've got 5 tips to share with you today of how you can keep your sewing frugal throughout March. So I'm going to get through and start talking about what my plans are for Frugal Frocks this month. I'm actually not being too ambitious. I'm hoping just to make 2 things. I've got quite a busy March coming up. We're doing some redecorating at home. We're getting all our new flooring done. So it's going to be quite a lot of upheaval at our house. So I'm not being too ambitious. I think 2 dresses is going to be just enough. I don't want to feel the pressure. I want this to be fun. So I'm going to get started with my first make. What I'm planning on doing is I'm planning on making the Carnaby dress. This is actually a Nina Lee pattern, but I got it for free with Simple Sew magazine. I think it was only last month. So this I was really pleased with. I've had my eye on this pattern for a while when I looked at Nina Lee, so I was chuffed to get this one for free. I'm thinking of making this from a practicality standpoint. I'm gonna probably be wearing it to work when I go back. Recently had the good news that I will be going back to work soon, so that's very exciting. And I'm thinking of making this view here. So just the sleeveless tunic kind of style. It's got these really handy little pockets right there. I'm gonna be making this out of some black suiting fabric, just like this. I've got loads in my stash, can't have enough black anyway. So I think I'll get loads of wear out of that, purely because there's definitely a gap for it in my wardrobe. And where I work in beauty, I think it's kind of that tunic kind of look is going to be really smart, look quite professional, and I can also have some fun with some different like roll necks and things I can wear underneath it as well. Not sure about the coloured tights. I might wear just black tights because I'm not that adventurous. But yeah, I can't wait to make this, and this is definitely needed in my wardrobe. So maybe not as out there and fun as some of the Frugal Frocks challenge people that I've seen committing to, but it is a really good staple, so that's definitely needed to be sewn up very soon. Now, the next pattern I'm planning on making, I'm really excited about. If you saw my Vicky Sews pattern haul video, you will know that I lucked out and purchased loads during her sale a few weeks ago. I talked a little bit about the Vicky dress. I'll post a picture up here for you. This is a free pattern from their website that I saw. I've seen a couple of people make this in the past, and it was one of the reasons why I wanted to go over to the Vicky Sews website and make some purchases. I'm really excited about making this dress because it's actually my birthday this month. And my birthday is on the 30th of March, so it's the day before the grand reveal of Frugal Frocks. So I'm really, really buzzing to make a birthday dress. I'm not going anywhere, I'm just going to be sitting in the lounge. But it's nice to make a dress for your birthday. I feel like when you sew, you want to make things for those occasions. That's what we all do it for. You want to be able to be like, oh, it's a nice dress, thanks, I made it, you know? So the Vicky dress I've got a few options for. The first one is this beautiful chiffon that I've had in my stash for the longest time. I've actually already made a few tops out of this already, one for my friend and one for myself. I must have got about 8 meters of this at the time. It's really beautiful. It's got these like crane birds on it, like storks kind of. It's a nice lightweight material. It's grey in colour. I think this is why I'm not sure about this fabric. I'm not really sure if like grey is my colour. Don't know. But this feels really flouncy and lovely, and I feel like this would look like a party dress. I've got some silver lining fabric as well, which I can use for the inside to make the bodice a lot less see-through. And I think because the dress has quite a lot of ruffles and the balloon sleeves, the chiffon will make it really nice. But I'm not sure I'm going to get a lot of wear out of it. I like the idea of the fabric and the pattern, but I'm not sure if I would realistically wear this quite often. So I'm unsure. Let me know what you think. I'm unsure. My second option for the Vicky dress is this beautiful viscose fabric. Now, I don't know if you can see. This is like a nice little ditzy floral print. I love this. In fact, I've had this fabric for ages and I've never cut it up because I love it so much. It can be used for so much and I don't know what to use it for. So, shall I just go for it? I love it so much. Isn't it weird how you keep fabrics because you like them and you don't want to cut them up? It's weird, isn't it? But I just get it out and look at it sometimes because it's really cute. Purple is my favourite colour and it is my birthday. So yeah, let me know what you think I should make my Vicky dress out of. This again is beautiful, lightweight. I feel like I would get more wear out of this because I love the pattern so much. But at the same time, I don't know. I'm undecided. Let me know. So that's really my Frugal Frocks plans for this month. As I said, I'm not being too ambitious because we've got a lot of decorating going on, wardrobes being smashed up, all sorts of things happening. So I think my sewing space is going to be like a sewing space, a wardrobe. It's all going to be in the same room at the moment. So I don't want to like lose bits of patterns and stuff. So I'm keeping it simple. And in fact, I probably should start very soon because it's happening towards the end of the month, so I definitely should crack on and start cutting things. But before I go, I am going to be sharing with you 5 frugal tips of how you can keep things nice and sweet throughout this challenge. So if you want to keep watching, stay tuned. These are my 5 top tips for frugal sewing without the clutter. My number 1 money-saving tip when sewing is to refashion things from your wardrobe. Or if you're like me, I have tons of dresses that maybe are a bit too short for me now or aren't my style anymore, but the fabric is like too good to throw away. So if you've got any like dresses or shirts and things that you just don't get enough wear of, but they're also like the fabric's still really usable, like put them to one side. What I tend to do is if the dress is like really tatty and like it's definitely seen better days, like cut that zip out, use that zip for something else. If you've got those buttons, cut those buttons off. You're going to need that. Add those to those tins of buttons that we've all got in our house. Like just because the shirt or the dress or the garment doesn't fit you properly anymore or anything like that, there's still a lot of usable material within that garment. So think about refashioning some stuff that maybe you already have. If your other half's got some oversized shirts, maybe you can make those into cute crop tops, or even I've seen some really cool like skirts that people have made out of shirts, oversized shirts, and I think that's really effective. So consider using them in different ways. Definitely keep those zips and those buttons because actually that really adds up. And I don't know about you, but I've got like a little bag full of zips and I always have one when I need one because that's one of the things that I do before I throw things in the bin. My second money-saving tip for you is to check on eBay. eBay is a fantastic resource of second-hand items. You can buy anything on eBay, but one of my favourite things about eBay is that a lot of fabric stores sell on eBay as well. So rather than me going through like all of the different fabric shops, like each website, they actually have shops on eBay. Like Minerva Crafts has an eBay shop. So I save their shops on eBay, and then when they post new items, I actually get an alert to my phone. And that's a really good way of shopping a whole bunch of different fabric stores like straight away, rather than changing websites and keep typing in what your criteria is. I love buying fabric on eBay. It is a bit of potluck because you don't always know what you're getting. You need to be really like down with your lingo as to like what each type of fabric is. There's been a couple of times when I've bought things on eBay and it just hasn't been what I've expected, but you can still put it to good use. It's still beautiful fabric, and I buy a lot of things just because of like the nice patterns and stuff as well. So I tend to keep them in my stash and they come in handy for something anyway. The second thing that is amazing about eBay is that lots of people clear out like house clearances and things like that. You can get secondhand sewing machines, serges, sewing patterns. It's a great place to buy vintage sewing patterns. So definitely do check out eBay because I think it is a hidden gem for like sewing bits. So my third money saving tip is to find free patterns online. Now obviously this is what the whole Frugal Frocks challenge is about. There is a minefield of free patterns online. Some of my favourite places to find free patterns is Peppermint magazine. They have a whole collection of sustainable sewing patterns. They have really cutesy ones on there, some beautiful summer dresses, like jumpsuits, really like casual wear, summer holiday kind of patterns, and they have maybe 20 odd free patterns on there. Just click, download, done. Another amazing place for free patterns is Mood Society. Mood is an American fabric store, but they have an amazing resource of sewing patterns that are all free online, and they even show you like different ways to hack the pattern as well, which I think is really interesting. But yeah, find free patterns online. It is amazing how much you can find online for free. Even if you go back and watch all of the other YouTubers' Frugal Frocks videos, like they've all managed to find something completely different, which is remarkable considering there's 30 odd people making videos about this, if not more, right now, and they've all got a different free sewing pattern. So it's amazing what you can find out there. So do just grab a cup of tea and go down that rabbit hole. Take a chance. Number 4 tip for you isn't actually really like a frugal tip. It's more like a decluttering tip. Like, if you can, this is my advice to you. If you're buying fabric on a whim because you love it, cool. This doesn't apply. But if you're buying fabric for a certain project in mind, read the pattern, check your size, and only buy the fabric that you need. Because I only really sew dresses, tops, skirts, etc. I'm not really like a small project kind of person. I don't really do a lot of that kind of thing. And if you buy the right amount of fabric that you need, you're left with not a lot of wastage. And that's the best way to do it, really. You don't want to buy more than you need and then have scraps that you're never going to use. I've got a whole drawer full of scraps that I'm never going to use. I don't do quilting, I don't make little bits and bobs, and it just seems wasteful. So it's not necessarily about being frugal with your money, it's also about less waste, because as we know, unfortunately, like the textiles environment can put a lot into landfills, and that's not what we want. We want to keep, you know, the world safe and things like that. So do only buy the right amount of fabric that you need. My 5th and final tip for you today is to look after your equipment. If you look after your equipment, it will look after you. It will last longer. So I'm talking about sewing machine services, I'm talking about making sure your husband doesn't cut paper with your fabric scissors, because we've all been there. You know, look after your equipment and it will look after you as well. If you don't sew over your pins, you're less likely to bend them. Put things away nicely, keep your sewing space a nice clean, like usable area. You won't lose things, you won't break things, and you know, that is a frugal tip for you for the long haul, I think. Not necessarily in the here and now, but like my mum's sewing machine that she first gave to me when I started sewing, I think she had got that when she was about in her like early 20s, like 2021, and she gave it to me when I was in my 20s. So, you know, things can get handed down if we look after them well. And that is, again, sustainable sewing. By looking after this equipment, you know, you will be, you know, buying less in the future. So that is my fifth and final frugal tip for you. So that is it for my 5 top frugal sewing tips this week. If you have liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below, and I'll see you really soon. Bye! Thanks for watching.